You are welcome to the Lord TV, your number one fantastic reality TV that gives you all that it takes to be enlightened on trending news such as politics, entertainment, sports, and what have you. If you are new on this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button as well as already subscribed. So please don't forget to drop your comments anytime I drop new videos. Thank you. Ciao, ciao. The news in details. Rocha's Okorocha in serious trouble. Court granting permission to EFCC to investigate former Imo State Governor Anayo Rocha's Okorocha is not a good news to his political ambition. In fact, no politician in Nigeria will love to be investigated. This is because most of them may have one way or the other made some transaction that is against the law. If EFCC investigates Senator Okorocha, it will spell doom to his 2023 presidential ambition, just like it did to his Abia State counterpart, Dr. Orji Uzor Kalu, who is currently cooling off in prison. Owele have been accused of stealing government funds and converting government properties. Though he may not be guilty of all, but it will be difficult for him to escape without being caught for any offense. He also almost lost grip of Imo State after his son-in-law failed to win the governorship election. But he will be totally gone if convicted of any crime as a governor, which is almost certain. Rochas should be seriously worried. Thank you for listening to this news. Viewers, being worried is an understatement. He should be worried. And I think he need to be worried because they have said it that he that is guilty will always have that conscience of fear, because he knows all the things he did when he was in power. So he's trying to cast his mind to know the ones that he knows that is having grievous offense. So I think he really need to be afraid. I'm very, very worried. And I want to really indulge the EFCC to not to be slow in investigating Rochas Okorocha, because to me he is the worst governor in the whole of Southeast. Okorocha turned the government Imo State affair. It turned his the government affair to the affair of his family. He turned the government's office to his family's office. You can imagine the huge sum Okorocha released to each member of his family. They did not only siphon, but they looted. Okorocha made sure that he utilized his administration to establish each member of his family. And this establishment never came from his own personal purse, but on the purse of the Imo State government. You can imagine. See the huge properties owned by each member of Okorocha's family, which they never owned when Okorocha wasn't in power. Even Okorocha himself, the kind of properties and assets that he owns today, he never owned them. He never owned them when he wasn't in power. Or see. So I will say that EFCC should carry out a due diligence study of Okorocha and make sure that they investigate thoroughly on his matter. Okorocha has really dealt with the southeast state. Instead of him to at least pay attention to the average Nigerians, see where they are lacking, see where they are lacking, and try to see how to meet up with their needs. Instead, he kept looting, siphoning, and diverting to his family purse, and he's trying to claim innocence. EFCC should leave no stone unturned while investigating Rochas Okorocha. None of them should try to be biased. None of them should try to be patronized, because I know Okorocha to be very good at that. He is very good at that. He's a cunning person, and he knows how to capture human beings. I am not against him, but I am just against his administration. I am against the way he managed the administration. The administration was not properly utilized, and it's not encouraging. It's very painful to see all of this that Okorocha has done, and that is why I never blamed Ihedioha, who did everything humanly possible to see that Okorocha is probed, but somehow he escaped it because of the dismissal of Ihedioha. But then the issue has been recapped. He should face the dance. EFCC should make sure that Okorocha face the dance of shame. They should make sure they trace every of his assets, know how he got them. The one that belongs to him should be left to him. The one that is gotten with the government purse illegally should be collected. They should not just monitor or investigate his own personal asset, but also is the asset of members of his family, because he still used the government money to establish each member. Okorocha established even down to his great-grandchildren. He can't see that this what people are saying is a lie. He knows. Okorocha is more than a tortoise. And that is one thing, one very bad thing about Nigerian leaders. And that is the reason why I can never trust a Nigerian leader. When he during election, when he starts listing out his manifesto, I will never believe any manifesto released by any politician in Nigeria, because I know that any manifesto that is released are all lies. They will make promise heaven and earth. They will say they will do this, they will do that, but at the end of the day, believe you me, you will see that they are saying all of those things because they really want to come into power. And as they are coming to power, believe you me, they are coming for their own selfish purpose. And before you know it, they have started siphoning and diverting government money into their purse, to their personal purse. So he should face the same dance like his fellow brother, Orji Uzor Kalu. He should face that dance of shame. I think I've talked enough. So please, what's your own comment concerning this? Don't forget to leave them behind. Click on the subscription buttons as well as bell buttons to receive more updates. Thank you.